Welcome to Math with Mrs. Cox. We are on Chapter 1, Lesson 7. We are on page 49. This lesson is called Comparing Decimals. You've learned a few strategies on how to compare numbers. Shading, and this one is going to be where you use number lines. All right, let's begin. Excuse me. Tessa downloaded 2 songs onto her MP3 player. Which song is longer? You have this song, 3.6 minutes, 3.8 minutes. Use a number line. One way is we can use a number line to put them out. And it's easy to see because it's a great visual. 3.6 is right here, 3.8 is there, so obviously the 3.8 is longer, right? The numbers to the right are greater than the numbers to the left. So 3.8 is to the right, so 3.8 is greater than 3.6. Another strategy is to line up the decimal points. This is what we've been working on. You can compare the digits in the greatest place. So in the one spot, they're both 3. The digits are the same. Continue comparing until all the digits are different. In the 10th spot, you have as 8 and a 6. And we can tell that 8 is greater than 6, so 3.8 is greater than 3.6. Song is 2. The song 2 is longer. Okay, let's turn to page 50. Okay, a yellow vocabulary word, equivalent fractions. Decimals that have the same value are equivalent fractions. This is a perfect example. Even though this says 8/10 and this says 8/100, look at the shaded area. The reason why this is in hundredths is just in case they decided to add a few stragglers over here, and it would be like 85/100. But right now, they both show 8/10 bars, and this is still 8/10 bars. They're just divided into smaller increments, but they could simplify down to 8/10 bars because there's a little trick. If there's a 0 on both top and bottom, you can cancel it. But we won't learn that until a little bit later in the math book. But can you see how they're both the same? So they are equivalent fractions. Equivalent decimals. Write less than or greater than or equal to in the circles below to make a true sentence. We have 8.69 and then 8.6. Well, think of this in terms of money. Now, they keep saying this word annex, but I think I'm going to use the terminology add a placeholder 0. So if we were to add a placeholder 0 right there, we can think of this as money as $8.69 or $8.60. Which one is greater? $8.69. Good job, guys. And since a 9 is greater than 0 in the hundredths place, then we know 8.69 is greater than 8 6/10. Guided practice. Write greater than or less than or equal to in each of the following to make a true statement. Here is 5/10, and then we have 5/7. Which one is greater than? Yep. Think of it in terms of money too. If you put a placeholder 0, which is greater, 50 cents or 70 cents? Here, these look more like dollar and cent signs, don't they? But let's go ahead and mark them on the place line, shall we? We have 4.40 and then 4.44. Yep, definitely is greater. Good job. All right, let's go to page 51. Again, the instructions are plot each decimal on the number line. That's our first instruction. Second instruction, write greater than, less than, or equal to in the circles to make a true sentence. Okay, 4.4 is right here. So 4 and 4/10, 4 and 1/10. Okay, which one's greater? By the way, if they go to the right, they get greater. Okay, 0.37 hundredths, 0.39 hundredths. Which one's greater? Good job. 0.57 hundredths, 0.65 hundredths. Woo, quite a bit more, right? You guys could probably do this chapter without any help from me. Go ahead and try a few and just let the video catch up with you and see if you got the right answers. All right, same story here. Oh, they try to throw a placeholder 0 in here to kind of trick you and make you think because there's more numbers here, this should be the greater. So let's look at it. We have 2 and 2, decimal and decimal, 1 in the tenths, and 5 in the hundredths. So these are pretty much the same because we could probably have that 0 disappear and it would still mean the same value. So they are equal. All right, let's look at 7. We have nothing in the ones category, but in the tenths category, this one definitely has a bigger number. Even though there's more numbers here, its value is less. It is 6 thousandths, and that's 1/10. So that is bigger. Think of it in terms of money. That's like 10 cents, and that is not even part of a penny. Number 8. We have a 6 in the tenth spot. But in the hundredth spot, that number is definitely bigger. So this number, the 652 thousandths, is bigger than that one over there. All right, here we go. They both have a 0 in the tenth spot. So we have to compare the next number. We have a 9 over here and a 0 right here in the hundredth spot. So definitely that one's going to be worth more. Okay, they both have a 7. Let's go to the next one. They both have a 3. This one has a 1 and this one has a 0 in the hundredth spot. So winner, winner, chicken dinner is over this way, greater than. All righty. Oh, do you notice something? These are placeholder zeros. We could take those off and it would still mean the same. And we can see they all have the same numbers, and so they look like they're pretty equal. All right, here we go. Nice chip in the fingernail. Sorry about that, guys. We have 5 tenths and 7 tenths. Well, the 5 is kind of puny, and 7 is definitely worth more, so 7 tenths is worth more. Number 13, look at the first number. We have a 6 in the 10th spot, and we have a 2 in the 10th spot. 6 is greater. They both have a 3, and right here they both have a 7. Oh, look, we can just take that placeholder 0, and yep, you've guessed it, equal smequal. Good job, guys. All right, that was 51. Let's bounce on over to 52. In exercises 15, 16, and 17, use this table that shows the cost of posters of famous works of art. So you have these 3 posters, and we really don't need to read through them. We just need to see that they have a decimal, and we're probably going to compare these. Does the poster of Relativity, okay, let's find that one. All right, right there. Or the poster of Women and the Bird at Night cost more? Women and the Bird at Night. Okay, so we have these 2 posters. We have 1898 and then 1149. And definitely that one costs more, and that one is called Woman and Bird in the Night. All right, which poster costs less? From the lake number 1 or water lilies? All right, the lake number 1 is $16.99, and the water lilies is $15.99. Well, they both have a 1, but this one has a 6. This one's more expensive, and they want to know which one costs less. Oh, I was going to put it the wrong way. So that is more expensive. This is the less. So the one that's $15.99 is water lilies. Very good. Which poster costs less than water lilies? Well, it's kind of nice because they're all lined up right here, so we can look at them real fast. Water lilies is $15, 18, 11, and 16. Looks like relativity costs less. All right, brain builders. Explain to a friend how many times greater is 46 than 46 hundredths. Ooh, so that little decimal spot has moved to the left twice. It's moved to the left twice. Now remember, when we move to the left, it's 10 times greater. So it's moved 2 times, so we're going to do 10 times 10, and that equals what, my fine friends? Yep, you're great. You're right. I'm sure you can draw a better arrow than I did right there. There you go. What are the similarities and differences between comparing whole numbers and comparing decimals? All right, I'm going to put similarities here. And differences. Fabulous. So similarities, you can use the number line, to compare on both of them. It's pretty handy to put it on that number line, as we found out in some of these previous examples. Some of the differences is that with decimals, you need to line up the decimal points. Very good. And when you're doing whole numbers, you line up the ones. All right, friends, that's great. Let's go ahead and move to the homework.